Hi there, everyone. Happy Tuesday. King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon here with you with it looks like a pretty wet midweek ahead. We're going to see rain pick up here through the night and into more of Wednesday and Thursday. There are also some areas of strong winds that we're going to talk about here over the next 24 hours. We'll let you know which areas have the strongest winds, maybe the potential for some thunderstorm activity. Yeah, the rain, and also as we get into the middle to latter part of the work week, maybe a little more mountain snow too, but only in a few spots. Doesn't look like our resorts are really going to be getting hit all that hard. First, let's take a look at the water vapor imagery, show you where this plume of moisture is coming from, and it's coming from the Pacific, but it's coming from more of a southerly direction. You can see more so coming in from areas closer to California, and it's going to be a warmer system because of that as that moisture heads its way towards us. And so we're going to keep those snow levels up to around 7,000 feet, even getting closer to about 10,000 feet at a certain point. Now here's your forecast. Next 7-day stretch calling for rainy conditions here through the rest of this work week, and then a dry weekend maybe ahead for us for a change after seeing the last couple of weekends very wet and very sloppy. Here's a look up this way around Stevens Pass, Highway 2. Snow melting from some of the recent rain and also higher snow levels too that we've seen there. A little snow recently though has helped to maybe put down an inch or two more from what we melted here over the weekend. Tacoma, you can see looking out towards Mount Rainier, a high cloud deck. Still able to see Mount Rainier, but that cloud jet deck will be lowering and thickening here as we head on into the evening. 56 degrees as we head on into the evening and mostly cloudy skies out there. Expecting that those temperatures will continue to stay more so in the 50s as we head on into the evening and through the night. And maybe seeing a few spots in the upper 40s, but that'll be just about it. We're not going to see a whole lot of cooling tonight as that system is coming in with more of that southerly flow. All right, let's look at radar. And radar shows just what's happening here as far as the rain is concerned. As some of those showers farther south here across the state of Oregon, while up this way for us, things are fairly dry. You see a few of those returns beginning to pop up here closer to about the sunset hour across more of the north coast. But our source of rain is going to be coming in from the south, and that system is really getting its act together, and it's beginning to draw up that moisture here across parts of the Pacific Northwest. With that, it'll eventually run into some cool enough air that will be able to produce some snowfall here across areas of the North Cascades. We're talking more so Skagit and Whatcom County and heading over towards the eastern slopes as well, where starting at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, this winter weather advisory will be with us until 10 a.m. heading into Friday. Totals ranging between about 4 to 8 inches. And for those elevations that are going to be above maybe 5,000 feet in Baker, maybe we can get closer to 8 or maybe even 10 inches of snow. So that'll be a decent snow producer there, while areas farther south will primarily stay in the form of rain. And for tonight, we do have a wind advisory through 4 a.m. heading into tomorrow morning. So this is going to be even before we wake up, or those east side Cascade foothills. We're talking Snohomish, more of King and Pierce counties. We can see gusts up to 45 miles per hour. And while we're speaking on that, let's go ahead and take a look at future wind gusts. And we're going to go ahead and back this up here for you heading in through the night, because initially you can see things are a bit breezy, especially out here towards more of those Cascade gaps where we do have those winds kind of funneling and able to kind of accelerate through the gaps themselves as we do keep more of an easterly flow. We'll see those gusts in those areas that are shaded in the purple, closer to about 40 miles per hour. That's why you see those locations right there. As this continues to make its way on through, well, we are expecting to see that the winds will continue to be on the breezy side. Now, the rest of us here closer to, I would say, Puget Sound, probably only going to keep those around 10 to 25 miles per hour. But again, fast forwarding this here through the night, this is getting closer to 11 o'clock tonight. You can see that those same areas right here, through those Cascade gaps, are where we see more of those purple shadings. And then out towards the north coast as well, you can see some of those gaps, or those winds getting up closer to about 40 miles per hour. So those are going to be the hot spots there. We do see as we head on into the deeper part of the night, 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, you're seeing less and less of that purple coloring showing up. So that's the gradual decrease that we're going to expect with some of the winds as we go into the latter part of the night. And then eventually you'll start to see that wind coming in from the south. And then maybe out towards the coast, we could see some of those gusts up to about maybe 40 to 45 miles per hour. Gusts will probably be a bit more strong as we head into the latter part of the day on Wednesday for areas around Puget Sound. But again, we're probably staying below 40 miles per hour at that point, but still kind of noticeably breezy. Another thing too, heading into the day tomorrow, this system is going to come in and bring a bit of energy with it, a little instability, or at least enough that the potential for thunderstorms will be around. So you might see a flash of lightning or hear a crackle of thunder out there. Should it be a widespread issue? Some heavier downpours too within some of those cells that are going to come on by. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Some gusty winds will be possible within those cells as we head on into the day for tomorrow. Now this is how it all shapes up precipitation wise. Here we are into the night. You can see that the rain does begin to pick up around 6 to 7 o'clock. So we're talking about after sunset, and that's lingering with us here as we go throughout the night too. More off and on in nature, especially once we get past midnight. While out to the coast, we're going to be closer to that source of moisture, which will help to really keep the rain going for a while. And then we head into the day tomorrow, and that's when you start to see some of these pockets of yellows and oranges starting to pop up here on Futurecast. That's the instability we were referring to. Within some of those, we could see and maybe even hear a few flashes of lightning, maybe hear a few thunders of thunder or rumbles of thunder with that. And that's going to hang with us into the middle and latter part of the day. It's only about a couple of hours of a range that we'll have that opportunity. And then things start to quiet back down as far as that is concerned tomorrow night. While seeing a lot of the widespread rain at least beginning to leave us for a while, but Thursday it starts to come back, middle to late Thursday, and this is heading closer to about 8 o'clock Thursday evening, Thursday night, that we have that rain that will be moving on through. So the timing for that, for right now, looks like it's going to be more mid to late afternoon on Thursday and heading to the very first part of Thursday night. Once that starts to move off to the east, well, things will stay wet, kind of off and on in nature, but definitely seeing those showers gradually beginning to decrease at that point. So rainfall amounts with this, as this is moving on through here, next 24 to 48, closer to 72 hours, about another inch of rain on the way for many spots. Parts of the Olympic Peninsula, maybe even closing in on 2 inches of rain. So this will be another good rain producer. And as mentioned, snow levels are going to be on the higher side. So 7,000 feet tomorrow. We start to come down a little bit, and that's what's really going to help out with the snow we're expecting across the North Cascades into Skagit and Whatcom County. And that's where we could see some of those totals picking up that way around Mount Baker. And Paradise, too, since we're going to be up around 5,000, 5,500 feet. Elsewhere, White Pass, Stevens Pass, this will be on the very back end as those snow levels are coming down Thursday, possibly into the early part of Friday. Some upslope wind helping to generate a bit more of that precipitation, helping to squeeze out maybe a few inches there, but definitely nothing to the extent of what we're expecting up around Baker and down around Paradise, which will be some pretty good snow producers with this system as it comes on through. All right, so your forecast here over the next 7-day stretch, we're going to call for those temperatures to stay generally near, if not above average. Normal highs right around the mid-50s now, so some 60s up there like tomorrow, and then a lot of upper 50s too before we see the cool down on Friday. And I guess the big story will be is that we see a generally dry weekend ahead, Saturday and Sunday, as we get to dodge a lot of the shower activity over 2-day stretch, which has been really hard to do here these past couple of weeks. The rain that you see coming in late on Sunday, that will be closer to sunset, if not after sunset, and then Monday and Tuesday we'll have another system come in, and that will help to produce maybe a bit more rain. And it's Veterans Day. If you have the day off, it looks like we'll see a few showers around too on the day there. All right, everyone, we'll make sure to have the rain gear ready and with you before you head out the door tomorrow, and have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.